Hello, and welcome to the channel. My name is Bob Menser, and I played with the Lenny Kay Band from 1994 until 2006. I played keyboard bass, saxophone, and sang lead vocals and did most of the arranging and electronics in the band. Lenny Kay was a lounge band drummer from the coal regions of Pennsylvania who called the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania area his home for more than 50 years. Lenny had his own big band in high school and played from central Pennsylvania to the Jersey Shore from the 1940s until the 2000s. Playing with Lenny and the guys was always an experience, and anyone who knew Lenny knew he had stories to tell of his long musical career. Many of these were recollections of funny situations that happened to the guys in the band during a job or rehearsal. Like the time on the way home from a job in the middle of the night when an inebriated band member got out of the van along the highway to relieve himself and tumbled over the embankment down over the hill out of sight without a peep. Hearing these stories, it was natural for me to become interested in seeing photos of these guys, which led me to wanting to hear their performances. As luck would have it, Lenny had many promotional photos and a stockpile of reel-to-reel and cassette tapes of performances dating back to the 1950s. Being a media aficionado, I was excited to borrow these photos and recordings and digitize them for archival purposes. I completed the project around 2013 and was able to share these things with Lenny before his passing in 2019. I shared a few tracks on my blog and created a Lenny Kay Facebook group for past musicians and fans. Over the last 10 plus years, I've listened to the recordings regularly, recreationally, in the car, as much as I do commercial music. There's something about listening to these popular tunes of an era, putting yourself in the place of these great musicians playing and singing in a smoky club in 1975, 1965, 1960 even. No computers, no internet, few electronics, just live recordings, analog recordings, live audiences, mistakes and all. The audio quality is exceptional given the age of the media, although I did have to do some moderate amount of repair work to the digitized files as well as the original tapes. Several of the reel tapes were so old that I had one shot to record them as the tapes were disintegrating while running over the heads of the player. If I didn't get it recorded on the first shot, the recording would be lost forever. I enjoy these recordings immensely as a musician, as a media collector, as an old soul. It's like reading a fictional book. The author describes just enough details to get the reader in the situation, but it's up to each reader to have a totally different picture in their mind of what it looks like. Listening to this music of the past, especially with a connection to a person I played with later in life, is my version of reading a book. I create an image of the club in my head while the music is entertaining me. At some point over the last 5 years, the YouTube algorithm suggested I watch a tremendous organ player on YouTube named Mike Reed. I subscribed and watched daily as this lifelong professional musician recollected song after song from his prime playing days. Some of you watch and know of Mike Reed and are followers of his channel. If so, you know that sadly Mike passed in December 2022. Until then, we only had mostly current performances from him. After his death, his son Josh stumbled upon a bunch of old reel and cassette tapes from roughly the same era of the digitized tapes I did of Lenny Kay. And in the past 2 years, Josh started digitizing and sharing these tracks and full performances online. I was astounded at the similarities of the music styles and choices of some of Mike Reed's performances when I compared them to the same era of Lenny Kay's music. The B3 organ and drums combo was popular at that time, so that makes for an easy comparison. Mike's son posting these vintage recordings after his father's death made me even more interested in Mike's music. Mike was 76 years old when he passed. To get grim for a second, looking at the statistical analysis of persons my age and health, a guesstimate might be that I have roughly 20 years left on this earth. Most people who remember Mike Reed and Lenny Kay or know of their music are gone, as they are most likely older than I am. But it occurred to me that if I enjoy this music, then there are still other people out there who do too. They just can't find this content on the broken internet search system that currently exists. And this is where it all comes together. I created this tribute channel to showcase the musical performances of Lenny Kay and any and all of the musicians he played with during his 60-plus year musical career. The recordings of Lenny Kay do no good sitting on my server in the basement when I die. They deserve to be shared, and other aficionados and fans of this type of music can enjoy it too, regardless of whether they knew who Lenny Kay was or any of the fellow musicians were. I thank you in advance for subscribing, and I hope to create a great community of fellow lovers of this music. I would love to hear from you and your comments on all future videos. Enjoy this vintage content, probably the only remaining copies of it that exist, and keep grooving to the music.